This is what you might have missed on BCSN's Sports Nightly.
Handoff intercepted, and it's going to be taken to the end zone by Hansberger.
2014, a season to remember for the Perrysburg Yellow Jackets, but how will they stack up in 2015? Learn more. We welcome in Matt Kriegel, the 10th year head coach of the Yellow Jackets, and senior linebacker Chaz Westfall. Gentlemen, thanks for being here. We're just a couple of weeks out from the start of the season, and there's not much of an off season these days, is there?
No, you get started right after the season ends, and it picks up in the summertime. So we're into the thick of it right now. Let's
talk a little bit about 2014, and Chaz, I'll start with you. Just an incredible season. 10-0 in the regular season. Finished as the #1 team in the state in Division II. You won a home playoff game for the first time against Massillon, Washington, the storied program. What was that season like for you in your junior season?
Oh, that was an unbelievable season. You know, that had everything you hoped and wanted in a football season all wrapped together in one. You know, it ended a little disappointingly. You know, wish we could have made it to the state championship, but it was great to get to that point and become close with all my friends and just have a good season.
Coach, for you, what was it like? You've been doing this a long time. That season, probably the best in Perrysburg history. Not only a 7-0 record in the NLL, you're actually on a 16-game winning streak in the league. You beat Central Catholic, you beat Massillon, Washington, you beat Maumee again. So, all things considered, it was minus the state championship. That was about as good as it gets.
Pretty good, and when you lose in that fashion, a heartbreaker against a team that was probably a little bit better than us on paper, but the way we played and to go right down to the wire, it takes a long time to get over that. I think we're still kind of getting over it. But then, a couple months after the season, you start to think about all the things you accomplished. It was as special a season as I've ever been through.
Let's talk about 2015. You had 4 first-team All-State guys on last year's team. You got one of them coming back, and the young man sitting here beside us. But a guy who's not coming back will be the quarterback, Gus Dimmerling, also played defense. Quarterback position, Trevor Hafner is going to take over on a full-time basis, but he's gotten a lot of experience in that position the last couple of years, including the playoffs start a couple of years ago.
Yeah. Fortunately for Trevor, I think we counted 7 games last year where Gus was done at halftime because of a big lead, and Trevor got to go in and get most of the duty in the second half. And Trevor can pick right up where Gus left off and actually does a few things better than Gus did, so we're very fortunate in that manner.
Let's talk about the defense. The guy to your left, all-state performer as a junior. What does he specifically bring to this team?
Well, it's never, as far as I'm concerned, since I've been coaching, if we had a linebacker that size that can occupy tackle to tackle and take that part of the game away from other teams, and then that lets you do some things in the defensive backfield and on the defensive line, because when you've got a linebacker that big who can move the way he does, you never get a kid that size who can do the things he does.
Chaz, as a junior All-State, but I know you want to get better. You've been working hard in the offseason. What are some things you want to work on? What are things you think you need to improve on going into this year?
Need improvement, just becoming a better person on and off the field, just being that team leader that guys can look up to and respect everybody and get better each day, each practice as it comes along.
Looking ahead to that 2015 season, you got 3 non-league games against the track again this year. You went 3-0 against the track last year. You start off 2 home games against Clay and St. Francis, and then for the second year in a row, you go to take on Whitmer. And then week 4, you start the NLL slate off with Springfield, who just missed out on the playoffs last year. Your first 4 weeks are pretty challenging.
Yeah, and we've had a challenging schedule for several years here. If you're going to play state playoff caliber football, I think you've got to start the season off with a tough schedule, and you got to work during the summer to teach your kids to weather that schedule and get through it. And it's going to be a tough road. We've got to come out ready to play and obviously avoid injuries and that kind of thing and be ready to go.
Chaz, a 16-game winning streak in the NLL. You'll start off against Springfield, who should be pretty good offensively. Scotty Seymour coming back as a quarterback. What defensively will your team need to do this season for the Jackets to be successful?
For us to be successful, we need to do the complete package. We need to stop the run as well as we did last year, if not better, and we need to work on our DBs did a great job last year, and I think we can continue that again and just work on shutting down the long ball and just make them beat us.
the #1 team in the state of Ohio at the end of last season in Division II. Looking forward to how it's going to shake out in 2015. Chaz Westfall, Coach Matt Kriegel from the Perrysburg Yellow Jackets. Gentlemen, thanks for coming in today.
No, thanks for having us.
Jackets getting started August 28th at home against Clay. Going to be a great season down in Perrysburg.
Be sure to watch Sports Nightly weeknights at 10:30 on BCSN and follow us on Twitter at @sports_nightly.